Grover Cleveland is very interesting. You know, you can win a trivia contest. He won 3 national elections in a row. But as is the peculiarities of the American democracy, it's the electoral vote that matters, as Samuel Tilden found out in 1876, and Grover Cleveland found out when he won the popular vote, was president, won the popular vote again, but wasn't president, won the popular vote again, and was president again, the only person to have 2 non-consecutive terms.
Do we attribute or blame our presidents too much?
Yeah, I think so. I think the founders would be pretty shocked to come back and understand that for basically since TR, and certainly since Franklin Roosevelt, that the president has been by far and large the most important person in the government. They always assumed that there would be times, as there were in the 19th century, in fact most of the 19th century, when what happened at the other end of Pennsylvania Avenue on Capitol Hill mattered much more than what the executive was doing, and presidential powers weren't sort of associated with a cult of personality. But now we live in a media culture. There's something manageable about the singularity of the presidency, and so we tend to, and Congress, you know, seems willing to go along with this abdication, have sort of moved everything to the other end of Pennsylvania.
Ken Burns, before we got started here, we were talking about the Gettysburg Address and Abraham Lincoln. What were you saying?
Well, I was just wondering, in this age of media, even with wonderful, glorious C-SPAN, whether we know how important it was. It would be very clear that only you would cover it. And chances are that the main networks and the cable might say that there was a dedication of a cemetery, but I can imagine the cynicism of somebody standing up in front and saying, while he was talking, the president came to Gettysburg to try to distract attention from his disastrous military campaign out west, meaning Tennessee and Chattanooga. And we'd never hear it. We'd hear it on you guys, but then with the tsunami of all the information, would we know 152, 153 years later its centrality to our catechism, that this is the Declaration of Independence 2.0, that the first one says all men are created equal, but the guy who wrote it owned slaves, and now he's doubling down. He's saying we really do mean it, and we're going to have a new birth of freedom, and that's it. Nobody's replaced that 2.0 in the 153 years since he delivered it.